Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a phenomenon that pretty much captivates all of us. I'm talking about those incredible moments when massive underdogs completely shock global giants at the World Cup. But here's the real secret we're going to unpack. This isn't just a sports mystery. The exact same tactical blueprint that helps a tiny nation defeat a football powerhouse is literally the exact same playbook that scrappy corporate startups use to disrupt massive industry monopolies. It's fascinating. We see it every single tournament, right? Like Morocco recently, totally rewriting the script and defying absolutely all odds. And when we watch these historic edge-of-your-seat moments unfold, we really have to ask ourselves, is this just pure luck? Is it just raw, unbridled passion carrying them through? Or is there actually a highly specific, hidden tactical blueprint at play? Well, as you'll see, the answer leans heavily toward a very calculated formula. All right, let's jump into section 1, the power of having nothing to lose. We're going to look at the psychological weight of the World Cup. So think about the dynamic here. On one side, you have the heavy favorites. Think of a highly scrutinized squad like Team USA, or in the business world, a massive Fortune 500 company. They face crushing pressure, enormous expectations, and a spotlight that nitpicks every single mistake. But on the other side, the underdogs, or the startup challengers, have almost zero external pressure. Because literally no one expects them to win, they get to fully embrace that spoiler role with absolute freedom. They can play completely fearlessly. There's this idea that pressure can turn stars into cautious players, while freedom can turn ordinary players into heroes. And it's so true. This psychological freedom literally transforms how players perform during a high-stakes match. When you're terrified of making a mistake that'll be broadcast to billions of people, you hesitate. But when you're playing with house money, man, that freedom empowers ordinary players to perform at a superhuman level, while that crushing pressure can make superstars look, well, completely average. Moving on to section 2, defense wins survival. This is the tactical foundation of giant killing. Now, these underdog teams, they aren't trying to outplay elite squads in open, flowing football. That would be a guaranteed disaster, right? Instead, they use incredibly disciplined defensive structures to just choke the game. They drop into low defensive lines and meticulously limit any playable space. In the corporate world, this is exactly like a startup minimizing its cash burn, fiercely defending a very narrow, localized niche where the corporate giant is simply just too big and too slow to maneuver. And here's the kicker. This defensive discipline actually acts as a form of psychological warfare. Minute by minute, as the stronger team continuously fails to break through, frustration builds. Players start forcing passes, and pure, unfiltered doubt begins to spread. It's the exact same doubt a legacy corporation feels when they throw millions of dollars at a massive ad campaign, only to see a scrappy competitor hold their ground. Okay, section 3, the strike. We're talking counterattacks and set pieces. Because surviving isn't winning, right? Eventually, the underdog must strike back. And it's usually a highly rehearsed 4-step process. First, win the ball deep in defense. Second, execute a lightning-fast forward pass. Third, sprint into massive open spaces. And fourth, apply a clinical finish. It's the absolute equivalent of a nimble tech team identifying a glaring gap in a giant's product line, rapidly prototyping a solution, and launching it before the bigger company can even schedule a boardroom meeting. You know, underdogs don't need 20 chances. They often need just one. A heavy favorite might create dozens of chances in a game, leveraging all their superior resources. But the underdog knows their reality. They might only get one golden opportunity all game, so when that lightning-fast transition finally happens, they have absolutely got to bury it. Alongside those counterattacks, underdogs lean incredibly heavily on set pieces. We're talking corners, long throw-ins, and free kicks. Why? Because it completely bypasses the open play skill differences. You don't need to string together 20 perfect passes like a top-tier team. You just need a specialized routine and the willingness to battle in the box. In business, think of this as a guerrilla marketing stunt or a highly viral social campaign that completely bypasses the giant's million-dollar ad budget. Set pieces are essentially the great equalizer. They completely neutralize the possession and open field dominance of a star-studded favorite. For a few brief, chaotic seconds, the game stops being about who has the most skillful dribblers, and it becomes purely about execution, timing, and raw desire. That brings us to section 4, chemistry over individual talent, the power of a connected team. Because the World Cup is such an incredibly short tournament, the most unified team often has a major tactical advantage.
Star-studded squads tend to rely heavily on individual brilliance, but those superstars can be highly disjointed. It's just like those isolated, siloed departments in a massive corporation that never talk to each other. Cohesive underdog teams, however, are like mission-driven startup founders. They sacrifice individual glory, they understand their roles perfectly, and they play relentlessly for each other.
All right, Section 5, Psychological Warfare and Momentum. This is all about building belief, minute by minute.
Let's break down the timeline. At 0 minutes, the only goal is surviving the early onslaught. By 30 minutes, if the score is still 0-0, the underdog is successfully frustrating the stronger opponent. By 60 minutes, well, every successful save and every crunching tackle builds a growing, undeniable confidence. And by 90 minutes, you have total team belief. Every missed chance by the favorite has built this massive, unstoppable wave of tournament momentum. There's a reason they say the longer an underdog survives, the more dangerous they become. By the time the late stages of the game arrive, a powerful psychological flip happens. The underdog stops merely trying to survive the match. They look around, they realize they are going toe-to-toe with the giants of the sport, and they fully believe they are actually gonna win. They become infinitely more dangerous.
Finally, Section 6, the secret formula. Let's deconstruct this giant-killing blueprint once and for all. It all comes together like a perfect storm. A fearless mindset totally eliminates pressure. Strict defensive organization spreads doubt to the heavy favorite. Rapid counterattacking exploits tactical gaps before the giant can react. And set-piece excellence shrinks that massive technical skill gap. Combine all of these, and you have the absolute perfect environment for a giant killing. So, the big takeaway here is that massive World Cup upsets aren't just random chance or a lucky bounce. No way. They are a product of brilliant execution, extreme discipline, and incredible tactical unity. Whether it's a small nation on the football pitch or a scrappy startup entering a monopolies market, they systematically maximize every tiny advantage, minimize mistakes, and expertly force stronger opponents into highly uncomfortable situations. This secret formula really proves that heart, strategy, and execution can overcome massive budgets, superstar reputations, and entrenched monopolies. So I'll leave you with this thought. Whether you're watching the next World Cup or surveying your own industry, who is the next giant killer you're going to root for, or better yet, build? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.